Hi, my name is Victoria, and I am trying this out. I never did this before. This is about my reflection on life, where we at, what's going on around us, understanding, and I guess I would like to have you to reflect together with me. Facebooks, Instagrams, and everything is great, but it's takes essence of life. What I mean by that is that when you Instagram like, dislike, comment all the time on other people's lives, you tend to just put the sugar in the tea, but you never try the tea. You just want to see how everybody doing, and that is great. That's a completely great, but you don't look into the cup. You don't try it. And when things comes around and you have to take a sip, um, suddenly it's too much sugar and you don't recognize the taste. And this is a little bit what I want to talk about. Um, my life is regular, I guess. 40 years old, living in city. Have a lot of friends. Like music, art, theater. Um, um, and like everybody else, been in relationships, separated, um, and been feeling bad, been feeling great, been angry, been happy. I like to travel. I like to do different things. I like company. I like to be alone. So basically, what it is that there is no. I'm not extraordinary. I'm just like you guys. But maybe the reason I do this is because I feel there. I need to reflect. When you turn 40 like I am, um, you realize that there is a 40 living years, and there's so much. You have to have grades, you have to have this, and if you don't have a diploma you cannot start working there, because we are tend to put the grades on everything we do, even in the family, even if outside the family, even with friends. We ask our friends, for example, hey, how you doing? Oh, what's your name? How old you are? Where do you live? What do you do? And this is some great is upgrading people around you. And a lot of people say, well, if you have a people who's more successful than you are, then in the end you will be successful. I believe that, but I think it's important to live your own life, because success is not for everybody and not everybody knows how to deal with it. And it's great to be popular, it's great to go on the red carpets and everything, but there is another side of a coin, and that is when you're suddenly not expected and not popular. That's when it strikes them hardest. So that's why I think not everybody made for fame, and I think actually humans are not made for fame. Because if you look at the animal world or whatever, there is no like somebody is much greater than the next dog. There is not. We creating it is because I guess we have a lot of time on our hands, so we shift the focus on being successful and be popular instead of actually living our own lives. um, and it's great that we are in 20th century and it's 2018 outside the door, and it's all great, right? But there is something pointing that maybe everything that glitters is not gold. And I reflect on that, and I would like you to reflect together with me. It's not a forum where we're going to point the fingers, or it's just I want to have a deep thoughts. If you feel like, yes, I would like to talk about it and I would like to discuss it, please do that, because it's seriously important. um, it's like a literature club where you read something and then you discuss the character. Only this time there is no book and there is no fictionary characters. The characters are we, and the book is our lives. And I would like to have a people who is a psychologist, because maybe they share some light on what's going on around the world, and relationship experts and people who is creating something by going some tragedies and in their lives, because that's when the humans tend to be most productive. And I guess this is a little bit about myself as well. When you drastically change something in your life, you tend to suffer from it or enjoy it. It's both ways. And I think it's important. It's important to have feelings. We are running around and we are pretend we are not feeling anything, and we trying to focus on numbers, buses, Instagrams, whatever takes our brains out. But when it comes to feelings, we are become more impotent. We are not able to be empathize with other people's sorrow and sadness, and we just put the hand on the shoulder and say, oh, it's going to be better next time. It's like looking at the poster and not knowing what's behind it. What is it that created the poster? What was it, the feelings? What time of the day poster was supposed to be meant? And what's the deeper feeling about the poster? Our lives is like TV. We're just flipping, flipping, flipping. We cannot stay focused on people around us. And we have friends, we call them very fast friends, but these people are not, they're not prepared to actually look into you, look into your life, ask how you're doing, maybe sit and cry with you, maybe laugh with you, maybe just come middle of the night and say, you know what, everything is total shit and you're gonna need a help, but don't worry, we will figure it out. And if you think, oh my God, she's lonely and she's 40 and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I have been traveling around the world and I have a very big spectrum of people around me, not only in America, Canada, Switzerland, Austria, France, you name it, also Russia, and so on and so on. So it's not, I'm not talking about that I'm totally alone and I have no idea what I'm talking about. This is about me reflecting on what is it we are doing here, why are we here, and why certain things in life became much more important than the value of life. And we're going to discuss what happiness is, what sorrow, how to get along with people you really like. Mentally you understand these people, you understand what they are, but something in you, your gut feeling or your soul tells you this is wrong. We're going to talk about things like what creates other people, what made other people to design great furniture or create new dinner, and how the politicians, there is good politician and there is less good politicians, I guess. And do we really know what they do good? Do we follow them that instant? And do we need to follow them? All around us, things happening all the time, and we are reflecting on grading everything. I do that too. I can walk on the street and then I see somebody doing something, and instantly I get that thought, and that's good. If you think, if you reflect, if you have opinion, it means you're alive. Only that the place where I live is most of the time is people say you have to stop thinking about things, you have to enjoy life, you have to just live in the moment. But the thing is, if you live in the moment, then everything is activated, your feelings, your brain cells, your tastes, and then immediately there is things that happen in your brain and you start thinking. So for me, it is connected together, I would say. So this is a tryout. I don't expect a lot of things from you guys. The only thing that I would like you is that if you don't have anything good to say, just don't say anything, because you have to understand that there will be a people who agree and under disagree, and who would like to have some opinion, and they will write, and you can send videos and everything as well, because this is not about trashing each other. This is about get perspective on where we are now, and we're going to discuss this as the way we can. And I want you to understand that we are here and now, and the point of being here, what is it? What's the point of being here and now? Is a cup of tea? Is a looking forward to something bigger and nicer? Is it what is it? And then you can always hear other people who is way beyond my age, and it sounds like they figured it out. And a lot of times they tell their lives, and they've been ups and downs, which is great. I think in order to have ups, you need to have a down. They're just the way it is. If you want to have a morning, it needs to be a night. And you you reflect on other people's life, and you're thinking that wow, they lived life, they had feelings, um, and then you ask yourself, is this is what it is this is why I'm here, is to have the feelings, and then everything else is like a theater spectacular, um, and the audience is everybody who is in front of my eyes. What is it we're doing? Why we're here? And reflecting on things, I think, is important. And it's not going to be only, let's say, we're not going to only talk about, oh, okay, there she is, she miss of unhappiness. No, I want to talk about good things as well, and ask you how you're feeling today, and what's going on in your life, and how you reflect what's happening around you. This is what I want to have. I don't want to talk about makeup and fashion, because there is experts on that. They've been studied, they've been working to schools, universities, they know how to combine colors, they are very stylish, or makeup artists and everything. That there is a people for that. And then you would say, well, in that case, reflections and senses and everything, there's people for that too. Yes, but every person has their own individual thoughts and feelings, and the same situation could bring different reactions depending who we are. And this is what my channel, I guess, is about, is figure out who we are. um, I think for now I will just reflect on my first video. I've been trying to, I've been walking through this many times, let's say many years now. And I felt that in order to reflect, you need to live a life. And I try to live a life, and I do it now. Of course, I'm alive. Um, but there is something missing, because I guess the thoughts in my head, they they just coming, and there's a lot of them. I reflect on art and politics and food I eat and what needs to be done and so on and so on. And when I go to work, I reflect on everything from subways to people I work with. But it's only me, and it's my head. And I feel like musicians, they write music, and everything that's in their head and their feelings, they put it in the music, and we have beautiful music around the world. um, Literature artists, they write novels, dramas, poems, and you name it. People who is more creative and have that combined together, they create movies. And there's a lot of good movies, and there's a lot of, let's say frankly, shit movies. But they're not afraid, they just keep creating something. And I feel like it's need to, from my point of view, I'm not creating movies, I'm not making music, I don't draw anymore, I don't do any of that. And it's not because I don't have skills, it's because I feel that my way of expressing things is to talk about it. I've been always very talkative, and I always um, like to conversations, communicate with people. Um, and I don't expect you to start immediately respond to this. It's not about that. If you feel like you're curious about what I'm talking and you would like to have some opinion about it, so please send it, and would be more than happy to listen to you and talk to you and hear what's going on in life, and also share the thoughts that I have. So there's YouTube, there's live sendings, there's recorded sendings, but I think if in order to be authentic, it have to be live, because then you know what it is. So I guess this is it for now. I will just go reflect on this sending, and see if there is actually meaning to this movie. I don't expect any innovations, I guess. What I want is just to reflect, to thought, to think through things, and to communicate and see if there's anybody else who's thinking similar thoughts. And everything needs to have time, and we need to process our thoughts. And I guess this is a little bit of what I'm doing right now. I do speak 3 languages. So if you are speaking Russian, you're welcome to communicate with me. But please, I ask you, without aggressivity, I guess. I don't like when people are aggressive. It doesn't create any positive vibes, and it blocks the thoughts. So please, if you talk in Russian, think through and then communicate. English, of course, is working as well, and then there's another language, Scandinavian language, that I speak as well. It's Swedish. So if you have thoughts on that in Swedish or Russian or English, please join me in, and we will look into the next video. And there is no scheduled videos, there's no scheduled live sendings. So if I see that somebody is communicating, I will answer, and we will discuss this as time goes. I have time on my hands, and I want you to reflect together with me. So for now, I tell you, keep thinking, keep reflecting, and I talk to you later. Have a good day.
Klockan är 10.